Hey everybody, welcome to our first lesson in our new series, Love, Hate. I think it's going to be a really good 3-week series, and I think God has something for all of us, no matter where we are in life or what age we are or grade in school or anything like that. So, love, hate. We live in a world that uses the words love and hate really, really lightly, right? Like, I love pizza, but I hate cats. Or I love Marvel movies and I hate men in capri pants. I don't know, stuff like that, right? I don't really hate those things with a pure hatred. I just don't care for them. But we use those words love and hate. And that's our culture. When we think about the top movies that come into the theater, almost always one of the top themes is love. Americans spend $20.7 billion on Valentine's Day. That's a lot of money on love. If you look at the songs at the top of the charts, right, a lot of times the main theme is love or even heartbreak that came from love. So you guys get it. Love is a big thing in our culture. But on the other hand, we live in a culture that loves to hate on people and hate on ideas. We make fun of celebrities. We make fun of TikTok stars. We even hate on people in our own lives, right? We hate on people that just we are supposedly friends with. Of course, we do that in a private group chat. We don't do it to their face. So if love is such a big deal, then why does hate, and specifically hating on people, seem to be a natural part of our lives? Like it's just something that we find ourselves doing, even if not on purpose. And so today I want to focus on one particular aspect of this hating on people concept. And I want to talk about gossip. Now, before you just roll your eyes and say, well, that's not me, or think those people are the worst, I want us to stop and think about what gossip really is. And quite honestly, you guys that are in school, it's just a really easy place to fall into the trap of gossiping about someone. First, you're in the same place all day long. It's super boring sometimes. So what do you have to do? What are you going to spend your time doing? And really, for some of you, talking about people is just interesting. Learning about people and their secrets or stuff they don't want you to know is interesting. And because everybody's talking all the time, just in general, it's easy for people's worst moments to come up in conversation. And so, maybe you know someone who that's all they do. Like they will make up gossip even if it's not there because they just can't help it. And maybe that's not you at all. But I do think it's a good thing to stop here, take a look in the mirror, and realize there may be ways that we are gossiping and we don't realize it. Why do we at times have to have such a strong attraction to trash talking, gossiping, or spilling the tea about people? Yeah, I said that. But here are a few reasons that I think we gossip. One is our insecurities. Sometimes we'll say something about someone else to put attention on them and cause people not to focus on our weakness or our shortcoming. So we gossip out of insecurity. It's easy bonding. You want to try to get in with a group of friends or find something in common? Start hating on the same person. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's a way that you can kind of make friends. Sometimes it's hilarious. Now, if you're the person getting made fun of, it's not hilarious. But, sometimes cracking a joke, it can be funny, even though it can be hurtful. Sometimes you put people down, point out a mistake so that you can get ahead of them, so that you can get their starting spot on the team, so that, you catch them cheating so you get the best grade in the class. So sometimes those are reasons we gossip. Sometimes we say it because it's the truth, not because it's kind or not because it's right to say it, but we say, hey, it's the truth, so deal with it. And so we say something that is negative about another person. The reality is, it's a people thing. We all can find ourselves doing it, and we're faced with it all day long. TV shows, podcasts model it. There are YouTube channels just designated to gossip and hate on people. Social media has made it easier than ever. Hello subtweet for making fun of people, hating on people, putting people down. There are literally celebrities that are famous not because of anything they've done, just because they've either been hated on or are always in the news for bashing someone just to get a headline. What a weird time it is to be alive. So even though gossip is really kind of this naturally accepted part of our culture, there's something inside of us that knows it's not good. There's something inside of us that even though we may be tempted to do it, at the end of the day we realize, it's just not a good thing to do. And if you've ever been gossiped about, you would agree that it's hurtful. I was thinking of a time when I was in youth group. I had just gotten into the youth group. I was a sixth grader. I was an annoying sixth grade boy, just like a lot can be. Sorry, guys. But I wanted to be cool. I wanted to fit in with the older guys. And we had quite a few older guys in the youth group that I wanted to hang out with. I wanted to fit in. And so I was trying super hard. And, looking back, I definitely was being annoying. I was trying to butt into their conversations. I was trying to be everywhere that they were. So I get it. Like, if I was in their shoes, I would have been annoyed with me too. But we were on a trip one time, and I heard a guy that I was trying to hang out with that weekend. We'll just say his name was Jeff. I walked up on a conversation when he was telling some of the other kids in the youth group how he was just so annoyed by me and he wished that I would just go away. And he said it behind my back. He didn't know I heard. But quite honestly, it crushed me. The rest of that trip, it kind of ruined it for me. Because he was talking about me, talking behind my back. And even though he was right, even though it was the truth, it still really, really hurt. So we know gossip. I think we can all agree it's not a good thing, but it's part of our culture. So how do we, as followers of Christ, not participate? How do we live in a way that's against being negative towards other people and speaking gossip and negatively about someone else? How do we live differently? How do we stop it? Well, we're going to turn to a book in the Bible today. We're going to look at Ephesians. And Paul, who wrote Ephesians, who's probably one of the most famous Christians of all time, he gives some really good, in my opinion, timeless advice for people. And so this church in Ephesus that he's writing this letter to, that's what Ephesians is in the Bible. It's a letter to the church, to the followers of Jesus there. That town was a port city. So that meant in those days, so much business was done there because it was right on a body of water and people were in and out selling things, trading things. And so it brought in this huge, diverse population. People from all over came to make money. They traveled through there. And so what you had was this city with just this huge, group of diverse, different people as far as race, religious belief, pretty much any way you could look at it. There was this group of people that was very, very different. Well, in a place like that, it's super easy to judge other people that are different than you, that believe different things than you, that practice different things than you. And for followers of Jesus, they were seeing people that were living ways that they believed were wrong or bad. And they were in God's eyes for sure. But you could see why it's very easy to be judgmental in those situations. And so Paul's warning these Christians in Ephesus, He's trying to instruct them how to live differently than the culture around them. And that's what we're called to be as Jesus followers. We're called to be different than the world around us. And so here's what he says in Ephesians chapter 4. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. Don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. Now, maybe you've heard this passage before, and you've always thought unwholesome talk is like cursing. So don't curse. So check. Maybe some of you are thinking, well, I don't really do that, so I'm good. But Ephesians was written in the Greek language. And if you look at the actual Greek word for unwholesome, it really means like rotting. This means something rotten. So he's basically saying, don't let rotten things come out of your mouth. Don't let things come out of your mouth that rot friendships. They destroy relationships. They tear down reputations. That's what gossip does. Gossip never makes things better. It's always really, in the end, said in only a way that can hurt someone. So Paul is he's calling them out. He's saying, don't let these things come out of your mouth. And really, this addresses a deeper issue. Jesus speaks directly to this. In Mark 7, he says, it's not what goes into your body that defiles you. You are defiled by what comes from your heart. So Jesus is saying, if you are speaking things that are harmful to other people and not helpful to them, it's signifying that there's something wrong inside of you. In other words, it's a heart issue that you need to deal with, not just simply words that are coming out of your mouth, which that's a powerful challenge. And so Paul goes on to kind of explain the solution to this. So do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. In other words, before you say something about someone, you need to think about them. You need to think, is what I'm about to say going to help them and meet a need for them right now? Is it going to benefit the people that hear what I have to say? Or is it not? If your words are, if you're choosing to build someone else up, to care about them, to help them, you're going to choose words that will benefit them instead of bash them. So it really comes down to your motive, your choice. And when we start to think about things through the filter of, building someone up, it makes it a lot clearer if we should say something or not, right? It makes the decision to, should I say that, a whole lot clearer when we begin to think, well, is it going to build them up? Or if they hear this, are they going to be really hurt? All of a sudden, that choice is not as difficult. But people who always try to bring other people down. You've been in those conversations. You've heard the people that spread rumors, talk trash, just try to make people look bad. And honestly, when you think about those people, that's probably the only thing you think about is how they are just awful to other people. But on the other hand, if you've ever been around someone who's really uplifting, they're not okay with you talking bad about their friends or other people, how encouraging that is and how you want to be around people like that. So a thought for today is, what do you want to be all about? What do you want to be known for? Do you want to be thought of negatively for how you treat other people, or do you want to be thought of someone who other people are better because they're around you? And really, when we get down to it, it's a choice. For those of us who follow Jesus, it's why God gives us the power to say no to gossip and say yes to being more like Jesus. And you can choose to build someone up and not tear someone down. So let love be what you're all about. Let love be your motivation. Let love be what's going on in your heart when you think of, rather than just spurting out something you say that can be hurtful. Of all the things we could be known for, let's start with the thing that Jesus said was the greatest, and that was love. So I want you to understand, all of this starts way before the words that come out of your mouth. Deciding what we say, deep down, it kind of comes down to answering a couple questions in our mind. So here's an example. When we're about to say something, sometimes we'll stop and think, will it make me look funny? And that's how we decide what we're going to say. If it's not going to make me look funny, who cares if it makes someone else? I can say it. Will it make me look cool? This is honestly a terrible motive for choosing what you want to say. A lot of times what you think will make you look cool really is going to end up putting someone else down to get a joke maybe. Will it make me look smart? Not a good motive. Are you going to make someone else look dumb so you look a little smarter? Is it mostly true? Just because it's true does not mean you need to say it. I have to tell my kids this all the time. So I want to propose a different filter when we think about what to say or what not to say. Is this helpful? Is it helpful? This is really the filter that Paul gives us in Ephesians 4. Is it going to build someone up? Is it going to help meet a need they have right now? And this is a question we can use anywhere, anytime. Will these words be helpful? Will they build someone else up? Will they make someone else's life better? When we use the filter of being helpful, it doesn't matter if the story's true. It doesn't matter if the joke is funny. It doesn't matter if the tea is particularly good. If it isn't helpful, it isn't worth our words. It isn't worth saying. If we choose to be all about love and use this filter, the words we should and shouldn't use will become crystal clear. It'll become easy. So I want you to stop and imagine just for a minute. What if you let love be what you're all about? What would look different in your house? What would look different at your school? If even just the people from this church decided not to judge, not to gossip, not to talk trash, and we just chose to only use words that built others up, I think we would stand out almost anywhere we went. I think people would notice that we weren't saying things, that we weren't joining in. I think it would kind of be like a light in the darkness. Imagine if Christians were known to be about love and not hate or judgment. I think this is what following Jesus truly is all about. What if all of us just decided to use that filter? Is what I am about to say helpful? Is it helpful? So I challenge all of you to stop and think about your words. Stop and think about the things you're saying, particularly about other people that are not present. Let's let love be what we're all about. I hope you have a good discussion in your Zoom groups this week. We'll talk to you later.